Hey there, this is Steph from StephFuccio.com. All right, so this is the replay from last month from Geopats NaPodPoMo National Podcast Posting Month. I had this episode on that feed, but I wanted to share it around so that y'all could get a sample of this experience. Why? Because the music that Damon Castillo has graciously allowed us to play for the past few years is on all of the Geopats podcasts, or at least it has been for the past 2 years. So I wanted to share it on all of the different podcasts. During National Podcast Posting Month, which is basically a podcasting challenge similar to NaNoWriMo and all of the challenges that have come out from that idea in November, it's to post an episode a month the entire month. I did it! And this is one of the episodes that came out of it. Most of the episodes were longer, and I did go back and ask previous guests from all of the 7 different podcasts to take a listen to their old podcast episode and to reflect on it and to update us on what they've been up to. And I'm going to be moving the podcast episodes that are connected to this particular podcast over here within the month of December. So keep an eye out for that. If you don't feel like waiting, you can go over to the NaPodPoMo feed, and I'll put that in the show notes for you, and you can hear them now if you haven't already heard them. If that is just too much to process, you can go to StephFuccio.com, StephFuccio.podcasts, and you can see the NaPodPoMo feed there, and you can partake of any or all of the episodes, whether they're connected to this topic or not. So this is an interview with Damon Castillo, who has graciously allowed us to play the songs from the Mess of Me album from him and his band for the past few years. So you've been hearing his music for a while if you've been listening to the podcast. All right, let's get into it. This is a conversation that I had last month with Damon Castillo. Da-da-da!
After I create something, it's time to release it to the world. And if somebody can enjoy it and get something from it, I'm more than happy to help.
If there is a man to be, strum a chord and sing to me that there will be another time, a time for you and I, with candles, books, and wine carafes, albums filled with photographs, and rooms that echo tuneful laughs. I'm so happy I could die.
Hey there, this is Steph from StephFuccio.com with another episode of Geopats NaPodPoMo. This is the 27th of the 30 days of posting an episode a day. Oh, challenges are not easy. What we have been doing is an episode a day of bringing back previous guests from all of the 7 different Geopats Podcast Network podcasts. That's a lot of podcasts all in one. But today we have something a little bit different for you. But I want to share a little good news before we get to today's episode. Are you ready for this? I'm so excited. We have 2 goals for this month. Well, 3. One is to reach the 30 days and post an episode every day. We're doing good on that one. Thank you. Number 2 is to share the word about the entire Geopats Podcast Network. There's 7 different podcasts in the network. There's Geopats Language, Geopats Podcasting, Geopats Coffee, Geopats Books. You get the idea. You can go to StephFuccio.com/podcast to see all of them. Or the super easy way is to type in Geopats and hit enter in your podcast app, and you should see all 7. All right, so goal number 2 is to share for you, hello, please help, to share about the network. I have a pre-written social media post in the show notes, and you can go in there, copy it, and paste it to everywhere. Really appreciate you posting that all over the place to help us spread the word about the network. The goal is 100 listens per day by the end of the month, and that's a few days away. Number 3, I'm very excited about this one. Our goal was 30 coffees in 30 days. That's buymeacoffee.com/Geopats. 30 coffees in 30 days. We started 8 days late, so I'm not surprised that we haven't reached the goal yet. However, we've made some serious progress. We are now up to 8 coffees. 8 coffees have been bought. at buymeacoffee.com/Geopats. Don't forget the S. So if you'd like to help us out in any way, shape, or form by buying 1, 2, or more, it's not really a coffee. You know that, right? Yeah. It's basically a tipping site, but you get to pick a cute thing like coffee or something else. I like coffee, so I just kept it on that, actually. buymeacoffee.com/Geopats.
Pay your dues, say goodbye to your body blues. Your body blues. Yeah.
All right, well, what are we doing today? Today is a very, very special one, folks. Very, very special. To make a long story short, about 2 years ago, I reached out to a musician I greatly admire from the city that I lived in when I went to university. And I asked if I could have like one song to use on my podcast. That one was not available. However, he was gracious enough to send me the entire album, the instrumentals and the MP3s and the WAV files and just tons of stuff. And so I have been using, you guessed it, Damon Castillo's music for about 2 years now. And I finally have an interview with him, and that's what's happening today. So this is not the regular things that we've been doing this month, but it's also an experimental month, so it fits. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Damon Castillo, and we're just gonna chat about his geopatness, his creativeness, his band members, what he listens to, and some more. So I really hope you enjoy this conversation with Damon Castillo, who has been on practically every episode via his music in the past 2 years of all of the Geopats podcasts.
I've been wasting all of my time standing at the back of your line, trying not to lose my mind, yeah, when all I'll ever be is your sometime guy.
Thank you so much, Damon Castillo, for joining us on many and any of the Geopats podcasts.
Thank you so much for having me.
For those of you who have listened before, you may recognize his voice because a lot of the songs that we've been playing for the past 2 years have been Damon and his bands. And before we go too far, should we give credit to the band members as well?
Why not? Yeah, I've been playing with these guys forever. Kim on saxophone, Christian Ducharme on keyboards. Right now, Brian Lanzone is playing bass with us, or was before the pandemic, of course. And Sean Sullivan on drums. And yeah, I'm a really lucky guy to have this crew with me. Just phenomenal musicians and great guys.
Yeah, you guys have been together for so long. I remember I was doing my whole trip down memory lane. I remember being in San Luis Obispo and watching you guys when you were Jive and Direct.
Yeah. And that's like 96 or 96, 97 is when we kind of started things up. So yeah, these guys, they're my family.
Yeah, and that comes through in the music. You guys are smooth.
Thank you. Yeah, I like to think that there is something to this, like what happens with the longevity of band. All the communication should happen really quickly and smoothly, and hopefully that comes across on the recordings. But live, it really helps out because we can just look at each other and we know, okay, we're going this way or we're going that way.
And I love watching the YouTube videos of you all live because I'm super far away and I have been for a long time. So my only access to you live now is through those live videos that you post, but also a lot of times other people who are just in the audience keep posting videos of you guys, and it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get back there soon.
Yeah. I was just going to say, it's kind of a sour thing to bring up right now because, oh gosh, when was the last time y'all were allowed, or not allowed, but able to play live?
I want to say that our last show was in February.
Ouch. Yeah.
So we're itching to get playing again. I know I am. I'm lucky enough to be super busy in the studio with production projects and stuff like that. So I'm still working a lot, but I do miss playing live.
I bet. Well, I hope y'all can do that soon.
Thank you.
We have to do your geopatness. I torture everybody at the beginning of the episodes by talking about where they have been in the world and or what cultures have influenced them in their lives. So whichever or both of those that you want to dig into, just a hair.
Okay, so I need to actually travel a lot more. But I guess one place that I've been that comes to mind because I know you've lived there is when I was a kid, when I was like 13, like 12 or 13, my dad decided, hey, let's go to China.
You're in
And
Beijing, right?
we went Beijing, Shanghai, Xi'an, Suzhou. We also landed in Hong Kong. This is before the handover.
Sure.
So this
Yeah.
was in '89, and we were actually there during the Tiananmen Square riots, and it was a crazy experience and crazy time. And we didn't really realize kind of the historical moment while we were there because information was not readily available, and it wasn't until we got back that we realized, okay, that's why we were having like that's why there was so many people out in the streets in Beijing, and why we are having a hard time getting to the airport. And it was yeah, it was kind of a remarkable time and a time before China. I mean, it's a totally different China than what you saw. So that was a wonderful trip. I really enjoyed that. And the whole reason why we went is my dad was at Disneyland and they had this circular like movie theater, and the film they were playing was all about China, and that's how he got the idea. Like, we got to go.
And from that to a family vacation in the country. That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
like a very cool dad.
yeah, yeah. He's a wonderful dad. Yeah.
And you haven't been back since.
I haven't. I haven't.
I hesitate to ask travel questions now because of everything that's happening. But do you think you would ever go and take?
I would love to go back and see. Yeah, even then it was like kind of the start. I remember being in Beijing and looking out the window and seeing just crane after crane after crane of high rises going up. And yeah, the country was beginning to transform.
The cranes are still there, but there's now
Yeah.
buildings next to the cranes, but the cranes are
Yeah.
omnipresent.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's hard to go anywhere in any of the first tier cities like Beijing or Shanghai without hearing and seeing what's happening with the cranes. It's amazing how explosive the country is in a booming good way.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if we could finally find a way to travel to this beautiful midnight sky? Oh, what if we are stardust like they say? Oh, baby, 'cause I can't fight all the starlight in your eyes.
So we've been using the Mess of Me album, and first and foremost, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it, and glad you're playing it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. It's sort of like at the end of my workflow, when I add the song on, it's like I'm done and I get a reward of the song because I switch out the different songs. So it's a nice like treat at the end of an episode. So thank you for that. I selfishly want to ask you about Saint Cecilia because that one really, really makes me grounded and super happy and peaceful. And I'm curious if you would be willing to share what the background or story is behind that one.
Yeah. So a life in music isn't always the easiest path, right? I like to joke that music's been my get rich quick scheme gone wrong. So all the rewards that you get for a life in art and life in music can be really, really balanced by some serious challenges. And Saint Cecilia is about this kind of love affair with music. Saint Cecilia being the patron saint of music. This love affair with music and the trials that go along with loving her. And I got to collaborate with a really wonderful string. I wrote the string arrangements. It just get me on guitar and voice, and then I wrote the string arrangements. But I collaborated with my buddy Pete Whitfield, who's actually in Manchester. And so that's one of the kind of wonderful things about music right now. You can collaborate with people all around the world. And so he recorded the string quartet in Manchester, sent it back to me, and I mixed it up, and it was made the record.
Okay. It's not a person, it's a creative connection yearning.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
wonder. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. I have to go re-listen to it. Sorry, let me leave. Yeah.
Saint Cecilia, I have always been in love with you, though you haven't been as true. Marcus Aurelius couldn't end your timeless melody. You could spell the end of me. Oh, well, if you love me, well, cure my ills. If you need me, then pay my bills. If you want me, then let me know. But if you don't, Saint Cecilia, let me go.
This might be weird to ask. But
Yeah.
we've never met until this Zoom call. So why did you say yes and send me all of those recordings? I was so incredibly touched that you did that, because I was like, it's a passion project. I was not even thinking about monetizing the podcast or any of that stuff. And when you sent that file, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the nicest creative thing ever. Why did you do that? Sorry if that's too pointed of a way to say it, but
No,
I mean it in a good way.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think for me, after I create something, it's time to release it to the world. And if somebody can enjoy it and get something from it, I'm more than happy to help. So yeah, I'm honored for the ask. So thank you.
That's the best answer ever, because I feel the same way. I joke with my husband that once I have an interview, when I'm doing the edits, I am basically in labor, and I'm like, please leave me alone. I'm in creative labor. Please leave me alone until it's finished, because I will be as grumpy, I think, as somebody who's literally in female, whatever regular labor is, because I have to get that done and I have to get it out into the world, because there's that creative urgency. And then when it's out there, it's like, oh, it's that moment of release that's beautiful. Yeah. So I get that. I get that. Different medium, but it sounds like a similar process.
Totally. Yeah, making a record can be pretty painful sometimes.
You've made a mess of me. 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 I won't take another dirty job.
You were just talking about being able to do the kind of online collaborations and things. Are you doing more of those now that you're not able to do the live stuff so far this year?
Definitely, because we're lucky, like in the production aspect of music, we've had tools for a while that has enabled us to collaborate with people all around the world. And I have a twin brother also in music. He lives up in Portland and he has a studio up there. And so we collaborate a lot already. But since the pandemic, yeah, I've been doing projects. I just mixed a record for an artist that was in Hawaii, and the head of the label was in another part of California, and we would have virtual mix sessions where I could conference them in, and we mix the record live together. And then for the recording end of it, I'll collaborate with people everywhere. Like I recently got some drum tracks from Aaron Sterling down in LA. Yeah, so it's a good tool to keep music making alive right now.
Oh, for sure. And it needs to stay alive. We need things to go back eventually, if not the same, normal, then different. I don't know. We just need we need live music.
We do need music. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an important part of life. So your recording studio, is that for your own use, or do you rent it out to other folks? Or, of course, I'm going to ask the question, do you have podcasters that rent it out? Like, what's the story behind that?
Yeah. It's called Laurel Lane here in San Luis Obispo. I've been here for in this space for 20 years, and I'm just shocked about how time has flown by. And it wasn't until maybe the last 7-8 years that I really opened it up to outside artists, and I started to produce more. Other musicians that like my records that I was doing just for my own records, they came to me, hey, can you help me out with this song? And so my own music making kind of took a turn and just led me down just helping other artists produce and engineer their music. So that's been a lot of fun. So yeah, no podcasters yet, really. But when you're in town, we'll do an episode here.
Yay!
Yeah, yeah.
It was actually a toss up between coming to, this is going to sound crazy. It was a toss up between coming back to San Luis Obispo and coming to Toronto.
We lost.
I know, I'm so sorry. It was the extra thousands of miles in an airplane
Okay.
that did it. That and housing is a little bit more in San Luis Obispo. Oh my God, has rent gone up since I lived? Yeah, I left in 2001 is the last time I was there. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I had an apartment for 500 then.
No, yeah, those
No,
days.
no God. But we will cruise through at some point. It's just inevitable. California has a piece of my heart that's never going away.
But a California minute, it takes a little while. You can try and just forget it, or you can stretch it for a mile. Become a Hollywood star, or never go that far. But if you're here, then you can live it. Oh yeah, in the California minute.
Do you write all of the music that's on the albums?
Yeah, so for most of the music, I'll write a song and bring it into the band, and it can be different for each song. Like a song like Saint Cecilia, like I'll write and arrange everything and stuff. For a song like for I'm trying to think of some of the other songs on Mess of Me. I'll write out the bones of that song and have kind of like a working idea of the bass, drums, guitar, and then maybe I'll bring Larry in and say, "Hey man, let's just have some fun," and he'll blow saxophone and we'll come up with some horn parts. Or I'll bring Christian in and say, "Hey, let's just have some fun and just blow a little bit and we'll chase down an idea." So it can be something that's kind of fully already arranged and written out to something that's a little less arranged and we just kind of feel it out together as a band.
And what do we have in the future for the Damon Castillo Band? Is there anything coming out soon?
Okay, so I have songs written and recorded, but for me the biggest struggle right now is just finding time to complete an album because I have so much production work. Among producing albums for other artists, I also produce music for licensing for film and television. I've been doing commercials like with my brother, so we've done music for Miller Lite, Olive Garden, Welch's, Starbucks, PayPal, a bunch of commercials for broadcast and stuff. So that's a lot of fun and a lot of work and really busy. And then with all the albums I'm doing, I'm having a hard time finding time to do my own album. So I do have stuff coming. I'm not sure when. I have an offer from a record label to put out a record, so it's just about getting a record done and finding the right time to release it too.
It's a tricky thing to balance your own projects and other projects. And yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it because I started doing podcast editing for some other folks and it's okay so far because I'm not working a lot in a day job, but it takes away from my podcast listening time, which partially creatively feeds what I do because I listen to a lot of stuff that's kind of similar and it kind of gets my brain going. And so listening to my client stuff, although it's lovely, it's kind of taking away from the other stuff. Yeah, so
It's a hard balance. Yeah. 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 I don't have any answers.
no. Neither do I. I'm just going around in circles. So I just end up with earbuds in my ears literally the whole time. I'll like wake up and go to sleep with listening to stuff because it's just
That's my world too.
you need input. Okay, so what do you listen to? What music do you listen to other than the stuff you work on?
Okay, so this has been a problem for me because I listen so much and it's all work. And I was just talking to my brother about this and he's like, "Hey man, you got to carve out more time for listening." I'm like, I have no time. And sometimes by the end of the day, I'll work a late day here at the studio. I'll get back home and the last thing I want to do is like listen to more stuff. I just want to let my ears take a little break. I'm trying to look through my Spotify right now and see if there's anything that I've been listening to. With my little girl, we've been listening to the Rachel and Vilray record, Yola, Michael Kiwanuka, just a lot of older stuff. Like I was starting to listen to old Cake records again. Madison Cunningham, I love her. I love her. Madison Cunningham, she's brilliant. Brittany Howard, she's brilliant. I love her records. Dan Auerbach's solo record, I love that record. And old stuff, I mean, I can't get enough of Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder and the Beatles. A ton of Beatles lately. I always get inspired by the Beatles. Every time I think I've invented something new in the studio, I eventually realize that the Beatles already did it, decades ago.
Yeah, that probably happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they did it all. Emily King, I love Emily King. She's so great. But like I said, I've been having a hard time just finding the time to just listen and get inspired by music outside of the music that I'm working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. It sounds like you might have to trick yourself and just like hit a genre and press play on Spotify and let it play in the background.
Yeah.
But then when you live with other people, it's tricky because you don't want to wear headphones or earbuds all the time, but you want to play it, but then they don't necessarily want to hear it. And I can relate.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm so out of touch. I'm just sitting going, okay. I don't know who most of those people are. So I've got a little YouTube homework to do once we're done.
I usually get a little bit of new music when I'm driving from home to the studio. I'll turn on our local public radio station, KCBX, and Neil usually is playing something cool that I get turned on to some new music, and then I'll go down a rabbit hole and stuff. So yeah. Phoebe Bridgers, that's a new record that I got turned on to recently, and she's doing some really great music. There's a lot of female artists that are totally inspiring me right now.
Very cool. I'm going to have to look these up. And listeners, I'll have all the stuff in the show notes, so don't worry about any of that. David, I was so excited to have this moment with you and to be able to share it with the listeners. Like I said, they've been hearing your voice and the band's music and all of that for a couple of years now. And I think it'd be really fun for them to hear a little more about you. So I'm super excited to share this with them.
Thank you for taking interest, and thank you for asking.
So I gotta be right.
Thank you so much to Damon for taking the time to come on the podcast, and more importantly, for letting us use the Mess of Me album for the past few years. This episode, as all of our episodes, are sponsored by me. StephFuccio.com is my digital self where you can find all of the podcasts in the network, my podcasting services, which include but are not limited to podcast editing, podcast consulting, and more. So this is a daily experience for 3 more days. I have a few different kinds of episodes coming at you the next 3 days, so it's going to be a little bit different from here on out, and I think you're going to like it. I hope you've liked this month. I would love to actually hear from you about what you've thought about what we've done this month, giving you a smorgasbord, and I have to say it like that, a smorgasbord of the different Geopats podcasts this month, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I am Steph Fuccio, StephFuccio on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. It's also my Gmail address. So yeah, anywhere you'd like to reach out and let me know what you think of any of the stuff that we've done this month, I would really, really appreciate it. And again, thank you for all your support in helping us with the goals of sharing the social media post that's in the show notes, as well as buying us a coffee if you can. Thank you so much. I will, be back tomorrow.
Do you remember exactly when we met? I wanna write a history. I wanna take it step by step. If I remember every moment past, well, I can solve this mystery. I can make it last. I will remain. I will remain. Loving you is the reason why I came. I will remain. I will remain. a choreography in each and every passing glance, as if our eyes knew how to dance. The sweetest music, the critics will agree on the symphony of heart. It is a work of art. I will remain, I will remain. Loving you is the reason why I came. I will remain, I will remain. The world will change, but I will always stay the same. Building so tall, it will crumble and fall. Forever is not nearly long enough for me to love you. I will remain, I will remain, I will remain. Loving you is the reason why I came. I will remain, I will remain. Loving you is the reason why I came. I will remain, I will remain. The world will change, but I will always stay the same. I will remain, I will remain. Loving you is the reason why I came. I will remain, I will remain. The world will change, but I will always stay the same.
When I clock out of the hospital at 6 p.m., I'm not done for the night. That's when Gamer Nurse 40 clocks in, and she's got orcs to slay. Sure, I'm playing a 13-year-old in Scranton, but he's a level 53 mage with a filthy mouth, so I need to stay on top of my game. What'd you call me? That's when I crack open a Heineken 00. Zero alcohol, but just as refreshing. So I can focus on stealing his gold before his mom tells him it's bedtime. Take that, kids.
Heineken 00, 0.0% alcohol. Now you can. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy responsibly.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
You know what's wrong with health and fitness? You weaponize it against yourself. Why didn't you go to the gym today? You're so lazy. Why did you eat that? You have no self-control. Stop it. At Beachbody, we think training and caring for your body in a way that works best for you should be about loving yourself. Let us help you without all the judgment. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.